And it's one of those weird, I remember when I first started working back in the mid 15th century, and the tax codes then were obviously written on a bit of parchment and all the rest of it. But it's been one of the great deceits of the British government that they've managed to get people who are paid, let's say, £30,000 a year to think that equals, and people do, they go, oh, that's take home of 1,200 quid a month. And they don't do it by saying what's 30,000 divided by 12 and then figuring out how much tax has gone.
Yeah.
It's just, that's how people's minds work. It's very clever. It's the one way you get people to realize how much tax they pay would actually be to pay everyone gross and then make them send a direct debit to HMRC every month. And then you'd have real clamor for people to have lower tax rates. But yeah, no, but it's worth people understanding that just because you're paying through PAYE doesn't mean you might have difficult situations. Can you do anything after the end of the tax year to pay it off by having another change of tax code, or would you have to stump up the cash?
So it will depend. Quite often, if the tax liability is less than £3,000, there's usually some option to take it into your tax code for future years to pay it off. Obviously, that's going to hit in terms of the next year's
take home pay on a month by month basis.
But
at least it means you don't have to suddenly stump up £3,000 when they send a bill through or whatever the number.
This is true. However, if you've lost effectively the full amount of your personal allowance, that's £5,000. So I think in that sort of instance, you're probably going to be expected to pay or potentially arrange a time to pay with HMRC to get it resolved.